Hello everyone. Today you are going to learn how to estimate the mean from grouped data. Grouped data is used for large quantities of data, and it does not enable exact values for the mean, median, and mode to be calculated. To estimate the mean. Now, to estimate the mean, we assume that each of the data values takes the midpoint value of the interval in which it has been placed. Let's have a look at this example. During 3 hours at Heathrow Airport, 55 aircraft arrived late. The number of minutes they were late is shown in the grouped frequency table below. So we need to find the mean. How do we calculate this one? Now, as we said, we take the midpoint of each grouped data. So the data is being represented in groups. How many groups there are altogether? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These could be called groups, could be called classes, okay? 6 groups or 6 classes. Now 0 to 10, these represent the width of the group or the width of the classes, all right? So we have 6 classes with width of 10 or 6 groups with width of 10, okay? And now we take the midpoint per each group. So the midpoint of 0 to 10 is going to be 5. And then, so 1, 10 to 20 is 15, 20 to 30 is 25, 30 to 40 is 35, 40 to 55 is 45, and 50 to 60 is 55. So how do we find midpoint? Between two numbers, you add the numbers together and then you divide by 2. For example, here 40 plus 50 is 90. 90 divided by 2 is 45. So this is the rule. And now, if you remember from my previous video, to calculate the sum of all the data, we added another column on the right-hand side where you said you have to multiply the frequency by the numbers we have. So now in this case, this is what represents the number, so the midpoint. So we are going to multiply the frequency by the midpoint of the groups or of each class or of each groups. So 27 times 5 is 135, 10 times 15, 150, 7 times 25, 175, 5 times 35, 175 again, 4 times 45, 180, 2 times 55, 110. And how do you calculate the average now? Of course, we are going to add, find the total of this column, the very last column, and the total of the frequency. So the total of frequency make 55, and the total of the multiplication is going to be 925. Now this is where sometimes the misconceptions arise, because there's so many data on the table. There's 4 different columns, but remember, you need to divide the answer of the multiplication. So in the first frequency data, it is number times f, now n times f, and here is going to be midpoint times f. Add them all together and you get the number, and then always divide by the frequency to find the mean or average. Always divide by frequency. So in this case, the answer is going to be 16.8 minutes. Right, so how about the modal class? Now the modal class is simply the class interval of highest frequency. And so modal class is going to be 0 to 10. Modal class, all right, is 0 to 10. This one here, the whole class. You must record the whole class carefully, not 27, the modal class, 0 to 10. Okay, how about the median? Now, usually when we calculate the median, we put the numbers lowest to highest, and you see where the middle is. And if there is two, if the number we have, it's even, we add the numbers in the middle and divide by 2. But in this case, actually, we are going to add all the frequency, add 1, and then divide by 2. Now, 28 is the answer. Actually, 28 is not the median class interval. We need the median, the class interval. So which of these? And that means the 28th number, where does it, what class does the 28th number belong to? So 28th number, remember, we need the median class. So the 28th number, see the 27th, from 0 to 27th belong to the first class, 0 to 10. And the 28th, so actually is here. It's in this class, 10 to 20. So it is this one here, the 28th data value is in the 10 to 20th class. So this might look a little bit complicated, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. So remember to find the median class interval. You need to find this one. So where is the number? Where its number belong to? Where is it going to be? In which class the number belong to? Your number. Right. Let's have a look at another example here. We have a group of university students took part in a sponsored race. The number of laps completed is given in this table below. Use the information to find, of course, to find the mean number of laps. Now, modal class, which means one of these. This is the class. And the class interval containing the median. So where is the median? Again, we need the class. Let's look, let's find out. Again, we need the midpoint, that is the key. We need another column for the midpoint, and we need another column here to calculate the multiplication of the midpoint by the frequency per midpoint. So midpoint 1 to 4 is going to be 3, 1, so 1 to 5. So this is the class. So how many classes? Let's have a look. How many classes there are all together? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes all together, or 8 groups, if you want to call them groups. And the width of each, it is 1 to 5 is 4. 4 is the width of each group, or the width of each class. So midpoint per each group. Now I'm going to record all of them. We have 13 for the third one, 18. So 16 plus 20, 36 divided by 2, 18. This is how we find the midpoint, and so on. And now, after you finish all the midpoints, you need to add. If you don't have the fourth column, you need to draw the fourth column, and you add the multiplication of each midpoint, see, by the frequency, always by the frequency, remember. And these are all the numbers that you have. And then now, remember, how do you calculate the average? We add all the answers to the multiplications and place the answer here. And then we add all the frequency. So the answer of the sum of all the multiplication is going to be 1,828. And the sum of all the frequency is going to be 91. And we divide them together, the answer is going to be 20.1 laps. So always divide by the frequency, because it's confusing. There's different data on the table. There's 4 different columns, but you always divide by the sum of the frequency on the denominator to be able to find the average or mean, okay, from the frequency data or the grouped data. Now, how about the model class? The model class is, again, the one with the highest frequency. The highest frequency here is 25, and that belongs to 26 to 30 class. How about the median? How do we calculate the median? Now, we said we add them, all of them together. It's 91. The frequency is 91, so add 91 plus 1 divided by 2. And this is going to be 92 divided by 2 divided by 2. So it is going to be 46. Now 46th number. Remember, 46th number. So where is it going to be? 46th. Now then I add 9 plus 3 is 11 plus 15. It is 20, 26 plus 20, 46, 46. So this is it's the last one of this class. Actually, this is where my the median is going to be. 46th data value is in 16 to 20 class. Okay. So if this is some work for you to work independently. So again, grouped data. You see, let's have a look at the first one. There's how many classes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 classes with 10. Each of the 40 to 50 is 10. So what do you need to do? Remember, you need to add, in this case, 2 more columns. The first one should be for the midpoint. So midpoint MP, I'm going to write here, for example. All right. Midpoint, so midpoint 40 to 50. How do you find it? 40 plus 50 is 90, divided by 2 is 45. Okay, and then the last column, it is, we're going to add the multiplication of the midpoint by the frequency, midpoint by the frequency. So it's going to be 45 times 2, 45 times 2 equals 90, and so on. So put all the midpoints here and all the multiplication of the midpoints to frequency, and then to calculate the mean, we need to find the mean first. Then how do you calculate the mean? Find the answer of all, the addition of all the multiplications, fourth column, the total of the fourth column with the total of the second column, the frequency, and so on. And then the model class and the median. So the model class, it is going to be the one with the highest frequency, model, and the median, you need to calculate. So add the frequency plus 1, divide by 2, and find out in which class does that belong to. Okay. Yes, it does look a little bit confusing, too much data to add in, but if you practice, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And this question with the previous one that I just taught are quite similar in terms of how we calculate the mean from frequency data. This is a frequency data as well, with just the data is represented is in groups or classes. Okay, and we have to estimate the mean, the mode, median, and the model. So thank you very much for watching my steps. Keep practicing and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.